is The Line, KHNC 1360 AM, Johnstown, Denver.
My friends, who loves you? You know the answer, right? I love you. I, of course, being Howard Riell, and I am only giving you the best and the brightest at all times. I've got a special guest today, a friend of mine by the name of Isaac Bardos. You are not going to want to move away from your radios. You want to hear everything this man has to say. But first, some news item from studyfinds.org. Worried about your child's smartphone use getting out of hand? Well, you should be. A new study finds that teens who are hooked onto their phones and other digital devices are markedly unhappier than their less plugged-in peers. Researchers from San Diego State University and the University of Georgia examined data on more than 1 million 8th, 10th, and 12th grade American students participating in this long-term Monitoring the Future study. Participants were polled on their mobile device and computer use and their amount of face-to-face social interaction with others. They were also surveyed on their level of overall happiness. The authors found teens who spent more time hanging out with friends in person and less time texting or video chatting were happier than those who spent more time in front of a screen. There was a noticeable increase in overall life satisfaction for students who participated in more extracurricular activities or sports, as well as those who read actual print publications more frequently. The research team believes habitual use of smartphones or computers to socialize was a key factor in how unhappy a participant felt. Unquote. Now, my friends, you know I would never, ever tell you how to raise your kids, but I'm about to. I've said it on the show many times. You can't be your kid's friend. You've got to be your kid's parent. And as such, you've got to lay down the law when it comes to use of their digital knicky-knacks. More and more evidence is piling up that constantly being on the cell phone, all the social media, all the videos, all the this, all the apps, it's bad for kids in a variety of ways. And this is only the latest survey to prove that. Monitor what they're doing. Give them a set time, maybe an hour a day, that they can use their devices. Yes, they'll squawk and they'll bitch and they'll complain, and that doesn't matter. Your job is not to be liked by your children. Your job is to do right by your children, to be respected by them, so that years from now, not when they're moody teenagers who don't like anything, years from now they'll say, you know what? Thank you for being the firm, mature, guiding hand that I needed during that tempestuous time in my life. Right? They might not use the word tempestuous. I use it because I'm a writer, but don't look to be liked by your kid. Do what's good for him or her. Limit the use of the electronic devices. And if they kick, then you got to fight with them. Yes, you've got to fight with your kids. You've got to lay down the law and you've got to impose your will because you listen to Real Truth and they don't. So you know what's what and they don't. You're a mature adult, hopefully, and you know what's good and what's harmful and they don't. Just like you wouldn't let them have candy for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, you can't let them be online during breakfast, lunch, and dinner. It's bad for them, bad for society, bad for everybody. You know, it might even be good for you to exercise some authority once in a while, just to remind you what being a parent is like. It's Monday. It's Real Truth. Isaac Bardos coming up next, my friends. Stick around.
Your supplementation with Bio Superfood, the most advanced nutritional whole food supplement you can buy. Men, women, children, even Olympic athletes the world over have discovered Bio Superfood from BioH.com. And now take just one nutritional supplement instead of many. The Bio Superfood formulas are whole food products composed with four of the most nutrient-dense algae found on Earth. Bio Superfood for the brain helps with focus, memory, clarity, and mood. If you can increase brain health, the rest of the body, it's a bosom of the Father. He has declared him. The Gospel of John, chapter 1, verse 16.
All right, my friends, welcome back to Real Truth. I am still Howard Riell. Of course, I haven't checked the mirror lately. Isaac Bardos is a speaker, a coach, and the author of the upcoming book, The Life You Never Knew You Have. As a coach, nationwide speaker, and upcoming author with over a dozen years of experience speaking and coaching, Isaac has impacted the lives of his clients and audiences of professionals, entrepreneurs ages 25 to 85. I won't tell you which end I'm closer to. His clients and audiences have included company executives, professional organizations, top universities, holiday retreats, keynote speeches, and scholar-in-residence programs. He's spoken across the United States, and his expertise has produced results with his clients across 4 continents. Are there really 4? I guess there are. Through his live seminars and webinars on breakthrough personal development and professional empowerment, he's helped companies, individuals earn more, achieve more, and experience more purpose and fulfillment in their day-to-day lives. The simple yet powerful and practical principles in his popular talks on success strategies in relationships, career, happiness, and finding and living your fulfilling purpose, and you are a hallmark of his live seminar and upcoming book, The Life You Never Knew You Have. Ladies and gentlemen, Isaac Bardos. Isaac, welcome to Real Truth.
Thank you so much for having me, Howard. It's great to be here.
It's my great pleasure. You know, whenever I have an author on the phone, before I ask him about the book, I ask him why he wrote the book. What's behind this book?
So the book is still in process, but what's behind the book is, you know, many times the people that I've worked with and the audiences I've spoken with, I find that the things that touch them most about what I share with them is that they wish they heard that 20 years earlier. They wish they learned that, 30 years ago when they were a kid. And many times the things that I share, principles that I share, are things that we have learned, we just haven't incorporated. And when they hear it in a certain distinct way, it touches them and moves them in a way where now finally they incorporate it and change it. So that the title is really kind of the premise of the book, which is very often we already have the life that we already want. We just don't realize how it's there. We already have the experiences we want. They're just maybe smaller or less noticeable. And it's a matter of kind of, like the tiny picture-in-picture they used to have on TVs. So we think that the life we want is that tiny little picture that, you can barely see what it looks like, but we know that it's that small dream in the corner. When we think that the life we currently have is the big picture, and it's a matter of taking that small one and making it full screen.
Okay. Why do you do this for a living, Isaac? Why did you choose to do this as opposed to anything else?
I guess because it's also a book that kind of shares some of my journey about the lessons that I learned as a professional, but also, throughout life, that I never knew I had that clarity. I never knew I had that understanding of things. And helping people also get that clarity so they don't have to wait the 30 years that I did to get the clarity. Right? Helping people before they go through some of the challenges that I went through. And that they can have, there's a possibility in life that they can have the life they never knew that they currently have is actually a representation, or is almost entirely the one that they currently have.
When you talk to people, what do they tell you is holding them back? Why haven't they already grasped the gold ring? What's holding them back?
That's a great question.
Only kind I ask, Isaac.
People talk to me. They tell me about the symptoms. They tell me about what it is that's going wrong, what's bothering them, but they almost never say, well, here's really the issue. Right? Someone goes to the doctor. They say to the doctor, my arm hurts. But the problem isn't their arm hurts. The problem is that they smashed into the wall 5 times, right? But the problem, they say to the doctor, is it hurt. Because most people don't care about the real cause of the problem, as long as it's not causing other problems that we just can't stand. So when people bash their metaphorical arm, or they bash their head, or they keep smashing into a wall in their career ceiling, or in their pay grade, or in their relationships, or in their health and trying to lose weight, right? yo-yo diet, and they're just not getting that outcome that they're looking for. They can't consistently produce the result or the fulfillment or the financial or emotional success that they're looking for. They feel like they hit that wall. So when they come to me, usually one of the things they say is, I'm unhappy, or, I'm really stressed, or I find that I'm tired, or, it's my wife, or my son, or it's always the other person or this external thing that is really bothering me and making it a struggle for me in my life. And when people start to see that they are actually the ones who are in control of their life, meaning they're in control, and that when we say someone else is causing this painful experience or this frustrating thing to happen, we put the power in their court, someone else's court, which makes us powerless. But when we shift that to, oh wow, there's something I could do about it, even though it's that other person or that, that wall, that, so to speak, that metaphorical wall that's blocking me, but I'm now in a position of power. Wow, there's so many more possibilities. There's so many opportunities I really can do because I'm in the locus of control. And I find that people often get upset in life or in any area of their day-to-day experiences because they feel like when they're powerless and they're frustrated about what is, whatever's going on, that combination creates stress, creates anger, creates a negative experience in life. The book is trying to help people bridge that gap between where they are and where they want to be, where they now actually are in a place where they have the power to change, power to make that impact, power to feel that life can be meaningful and fun and purposeful. Because that's a really firm belief that I have, and I wanted to write a book that people could go through and read through and really contemplate some of these ideas, because I believe that they're really at the core of my experience in life, where I used to be, at the behest of other people's whims and, someone else's ego, and someone else is, having a bad day, that means I'm having a bad day. And a lot of my clients can relate to that from a boss or from a spouse's, interactions with them. Oh, so-and-so's having a bad day. We're all going to have a day, right? So-and-so lost the Super Bowl, right? Or they didn't make it into the Final Four in March Madness, oh gosh, we're all going to have a stressful week. Or a great week, because this team won.
So they
put something that's totally out of their control rules their life.
Right, they put the levers of control in other people's hands, and in so doing, they get lost. And it's pretty easy to get lost and feel like you're out of control of your life. I can relate to that completely. We are about to go to a break. When we come back, we'll have more with Isaac Bardos, putting yourself in control of your own life. Stick around for more Real Truth.
Informing you that heart attacks in women is different than heart attacks in men. Women having heart attacks will experience nausea, vomiting, indigestion, shortness of breath, or simply sudden and extreme fatigue, but no chest pain. Get emergency medical help and call 911 immediately if you are experiencing any of these symptoms. Pain, pressure, burning, or bruising in the chest, jaw, shoulder, back, or arms that last more than 5 to 10 minutes. Unexplained shortness of breath lasting more than 5 to 10 minutes. Sudden severe nausea, vomiting, or indigestion. Sudden sweating for no reason, sudden unexplained extreme fatigue, loss of consciousness or fainting, or sudden unexplained panicky feeling of doom. Is to listen to your body, follow your instincts, and if you experience symptoms that are disturbing you in any way, or even remotely related to your heart, get yourself checked out right away. If your doctor brushes you off, that's a sign you need a big doctor, one who will actually do what is necessary to get to the bottom of your symptoms.
Great Plains Power has been providing reliable electrical power systems in the Rocky Mountain area since 1992. Our systems rely on the sun to help make you self-reliant for your power needs. Solar energy can be scaled to fit any situation, from complete power independence to backup power for the short term. Our expertise focuses on standalone power, but we have extensive experience with utility interactive systems as well. Custom tailored capabilities as modest as emergency lighting all the way to commercial scale power. Great Plains Power is a full service company. We service everything we sell. We provide and design turnkey packages, custom design system, and parts to do it yourself. With more than 20 years of specialized experience at your disposal, let us know what your power concerns or goals are. Reach us by phone
And welcome back, Howard Riell. The show is called Real Truth. My guest today, Isaac Bardos, coach, speaker, and author of an upcoming book, which I will read, and I recommend you do the same. The Life You Never Knew You Have. Isaac, when you meet with people, an audience full of people, and you say, what problems are you wrestling with? Someone stands up. What's the most common problem you hear? Is it that people just can't get started?
Well, a lot of times people feel like they're lacking the clarity of what to do next. And part of that is a lot of people don't know what they want. And when someone doesn't know what they want, they don't know how to figure out what to do to get that.
Okay.
So oftentimes the clarity of decision making, the clarity of the next steps of what to do in whatever it is. And what's fascinating about that is, in order to help someone through that, I don't have to have been through that specific decision. I just have to have been through enough of my own decisions that I can help them see from their perspective what decisions they choose.
Okay.
A lot of times people are kind of, I guess a metaphor would be if you're driving and the sun's setting and it's hitting towards your eyes, right? The road is still there, the cars around you are all there, but you can't really see it because you're kind of blinded by this obstacle called the sunlight that's just shining on you. So a lot of times people come up, it could be a different thing like unhappiness, it could be stress, it could be, my spouse, it could be the children, it could be the boss. It's usually one of the major relationships in life that they're struggling with, or that a person gets, they're having mood swings, they're unhappy. But really what it is there's one main obstacle, like sunlight that's just shining so bright, or something so strong that obstacle for them, and they can't figure out how to get around it and how to get to the other side of it.
All right. Well, let's look at that specifically. Let's say you're dealing with emotions that are just pushing you in directions you don't want to go. How do you get a grip on those emotions? How do you get control of them?
Emotions that are pushing you in a direction you don't want to go?
Yeah. How do you cope with the difficult emotions that come from having a particular challenge?
Okay, so let's get concrete. Do you want me to give an example, or do you like to
Please,
share one?
by all means.
Bring one to the table.
By all means.
So let's say a person is unhappy with. They got a phone call about something that just happened, a decision that was made that affects them, and they don't know what to do. But they're very unhappy, and maybe it added more stress, or maybe there's more financial strain, or maybe it's just not what they wanted. It's an inconvenience in life. So they might see that as something that they had no power over. And now they're subject to it. They're powerless to change it because it's already been done. So one of the things that I would do to help them is to, first of all, reframe it. The word, a lot of how we feel, especially if we're feeling something negative or something that's a strong positive feeling, is all about how we represent what it means to us. I always teach that there's 3 different questions to ask whenever something's going on in a person's life. What's the meaning that you're giving it? What are you focusing on, and what are you going to do about it? And the meaning that we give something creates our experience of what it is. So I heard you before, you're talking about technology, right? Disconnect from technology to connect with the people around us.
Right.
Because technology was originally created to enhance our ability to connect, families and individuals and business people. Right? It was created by humans for humans to better connect. And it's become something that is continually created by humans and continually seems to disconnect them.
Right.
Right? So that's kind of a problem. But the meaning that we give to it, right? If we feel powerless because whoever it is our kids or our spouse is always on the tablet or the device, and we can't change that, then we feel, well, they don't care about us, or they don't value the family unit, or don't they understand how much work I put into this, preparing this meal and gathering family together, right? So, I had a client who said that they were so frustrated that their family Thanksgiving dinner became a thanks texting dinner, right? No one had anything to say because they were all busy on their phone.
Oh, no. So what's the cure? What should advise the parents out there, Isaac? If they've got a kid who won't get off the device, what's an approach they can use that'll work?
So the first thing to do is work on the person you can directly impact. So if the parent, it's a great question. I love the example. If the parent is frustrated about the situation, and the meaning that they give to it is, my kid's addicted to the device, or what's wrong with kids these days, or something negative like that, then the focus that they're going to give to it is going to be something about seeing kids in a negative light, or seeing their child in, as less than, or that they're losing out on this special time with someone in their family, right? Their son or daughter.
Okay.
They're going to automatically feel negative about the situation towards the other person, and then most likely negative towards themselves of how they reacted, which usually didn't help get the child on board.
Right.
Usually gets the child to want to not be connected with the parent.
Correct.
So the first step is to then change what's the meaning that you're giving it. Because if you change the meaning that the person is giving it into a positive thing where there's now opportunity, right? Because the child is basically sitting down at the dinner table and saying, this device is more exciting than dad or mom, right? But if dad or mom figure out a way to connect with the kid, we are hardwired as humans in our biology to connect with people more than devices. But the devices, just as a side interesting scientific note, right, that the light from these screens actually activate and they trigger the endorphins that are similar to the endorphins released when two people are having a good connection. And the device, the backlight, the screen of the device, since it can activate that, it becomes a struggle between this pleasure of connection and the real face-to-face, in-person pleasure of connection. So what the parent can do is find out what actually is interesting to the child. Find out what does the child actually want. Because we were doing just fine without technology, and families were, connecting. I mean, some were better than others, but we were connecting when there wasn't phones, there wasn't tablets. We were doing fine, and usually the family unit was overall stronger back then than it was compared to now because there's so many ways to be disconnected. So the first thing to do is change the parent's perspective, right? Them themselves changing what's the meaning I'm giving to it. So they're now able to see it as an opportunity rather than this slap in the face.
All right, so what's step number 2?
Second thing they can do is, second step is we'll change the focus. Because before they were making the focus all about themselves. The parent was saying, I'm focused on me and why this child is doing this to me and how it makes me feel, right? The me. And the truth is the parent's really upset about the child doing that exact thing of me, right? How can the child be so selfish and sit at the table and not talk to anyone and just text his or her own friends, right?
Right.
So when the parent's coming from the perspective of me, and the child's going, well, I'm, all of 16 or 6 or 26, and I just want to be connected with or distracted from whatever's going on, the child's thinking about them, the parent's thinking about that. The parent can do in step 2 is change the focus from how the parent's feeling to how the child's feeling. I would step into the child's world. What does he or she want? What does he or she need? And from that perspective, you can see, what's really motivating them? What's going to get this kid to want to change his or her own behavior? Because that's the real way to get someone to change. By them deciding, by that other person deciding they want to change.
Interesting.
And now the third question is, okay, what am I going to do about it?
Yeah.
The third piece is, what that parent can do about it is actually take steps to meet that need. Actually take real interest in a way where it's not that they just try once and they win. Maybe they do. Maybe they have to try a few times and ask in different ways. Where now that child sees mom or dad, they're really interested, like they really care. And we all, as people, when someone we see caring about us, is concerned about us, and is asking us to modify our behavior, we're naturally inclined to want to do that. If we see that they care, we have built rapport with them. But a lot of this, the whole reason this problem came to be is often because the rapport isn't there, right? The kid is more interested because very often at the same table, they just saw mom or dad on their phone.
All right. Well, speaking of,
What am I going to do now?
I'm sorry to cut you off. You made a very good point. The rapport is not there anymore. So speaking of rapport not being there, let's look at marriage, because a lot of people, as you know better than I do, a lot of marriages, people stop relating to each other, stop communicating. The rapport is not there. So let's look at husband and wife. If they're having similar types of problems, I know you counsel a lot of couples, what can they do to lessen the distance between the two of them?
That's an excellent question. So there's a lot of different things people can do, but the first one is really to step in and say, where did we go amiss? Right? Because at the time where a couple have come together, they have had enough wins, so to speak, enough positive emotional experiences that brought them together. But what happens is, if they're not connecting, it's because at some point they started taking steps away from each other. They've been disconnecting.
Right.
And there could be a number of factors that cause that. But the first way to start reconnecting from that is to say, okay, where did we go wrong? And to really ask the other person, okay, share that their newfound desire, share that they really want that, and really be genuine about it, and is to be ready with what comes next, right? So if the person responds and says, yeah, but you've been this, this, and this, instead of, right, that we were talking about the meaning and the focus, instead of giving the meaning that the other person is this and that the other person is that, and for being so mean when I try to say, let's reconnect, instead of giving the meaning to all these negatives, give the meaning, oh my gosh, this person must be really hurt by these other things. And the focus is on the other person and how they're doing and how I am here to try to meet their needs. Right? So that creates an immediate opportunity for connection when a person says, I'm trying to make that bid for your attention, a bid for your forgiveness, a bid for us to reconnect and be closer to each other. But if one person has to take that step first and be vulnerable. And so very often people get stuck and marriages can start to fall apart because one partner doesn't want to be totally vulnerable and just let the other person in because they're scared that they might get hurt. The truth is, they're already hurt.
All right, we've got 2 minutes. We've got 2 minutes left.
They're already hurt.
Isaac, we've got 2 minutes left. Give me some parting thoughts for the people listening to the show. What thoughts do you want to leave them with?
So something that I really believe very strongly in life is that so often we go through life and we have, we notice at the end of the day, if you ask yourself how many emotions did we feel, we usually only experience about 5 to 6 on a daily basis, on a weekly basis. Anger, frustration, stress, tired, confused, thinking, like those are often most of the emotions that most of us go through. But the truth is, there's hundreds of emotions. There's an almost unlimited amount that we can experience emotionally, right? Creating emotional wealth in our lives. And realizing, becoming aware of what you experience on a daily basis, and then saying, okay, well, what do I want to experience? Right? And then find the opportunities, find the ways you can actually create those positive emotions, happiness, excitement, joy, energy, right? Creativity, expansion, emotions that bring us more life, more energy, more vitality. And as they do, as we have more ease in our life, we also have less dis-ease in our body, in our relationships. And so I guess my takeaway is find the opportunities to create more of the emotions and the experiences that bring you those emotions in life, because the possibilities in life feel endless when we're experiencing those, when we're creating those opportunities, and you have the capacity to do that.
Sometimes it's hard to focus on the positive because we get so caught up emotionally in the negative. But you're right. Now, when are you expecting your book, The Life You Never Knew You Have? When are we looking publication date for that?
So hopefully the end of this year or first month, January of next year.
All right. Okay. Folks, I know Isaac for a long time. If he took the trouble to write it down, it's worth reading. Isaac, thanks very much for being on Real Truth today. The book is called The Life You Never Knew You Have. My friends, we'll take a break and we'll be back.
Thank you.
We had no time to do anything.
Get out and save ourselves. Now we're left with nothing. No food, no water, no shelter. Now you're okay. Golden informing you that heart attacks in women is different than heart attacks in men. Women having heart attacks will experience nausea, vomiting, indigestion, shortness of breath, or simply sudden and extreme fatigue, but no chest pain. Get emergency medical help and call 911 immediately if you are experiencing any of these symptoms. Pain, pressure, burning or squeezing the chest, jaw, shoulders, back, or arms that last more than 5 to 10 minutes. Unexplained shortness of breath lasting more than 5 to 10 minutes. Sudden severe nausea, vomiting, or indigestion. Sudden sweating for no reason. Sudden unexplained extreme fatigue. Loss of consciousness or fainting, or sudden unexplained panicky feeling of doom. The key, ladies, is to listen to your body. Follow your instincts, and if you experience symptoms that are disturbing to you in any way, or even remotely related to your heart, get yourself checked out right away. If your doctor brushes you off, that's a sign you need a new doctor, one who will actually do what is necessary to get to the bottom of your symptoms. The Lord brings the counsel of the nations to nothing. He makes the plans. The counsel of the Lord stands forever, the plans of his heart to all generations. Blessed the nation. God is the Lord. The people he has chosen as his own inheritance. Psalm 33, verses 10 through 12.
We, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, to ordain and establish this Constitution.
American Window Tinting Incorporated in Franktown reminds parents, keep an eye on your child while shopping. Children tend to stray or become lost. This poses an opportunity for a would-be abductor. Please make every effort to keep track of your little one at all times. If you have information regarding a lost child, call local authorities at once. This message is from American Window Tinting Incorporated in Franktown. For residential or commercial window tinting, call 303-263-4228.
All right, my friends, be honest, please. And I know you always are. Be honest, you hated that $1.3 trillion budget that Donald Trump signed, just like I did, just like Donald Trump did. You know, my rabbi was asking me about it today. He thinks Donald Trump sold out, and I said, nay. Sometimes I impersonate a horse. I said, no, he didn't sell out. He's got a razor-thin majority, 49 to 51 in the Senate. And of his 51 Republicans, a lot of them are rhinos. They're Republican in name only, and they don't vote. They vote like Democrats. And so, to a large extent, Donald Trump's hands are tied, and he knew that the military needs the extra funding immediately. That's why he signed the bill, signed it, and didn't like it. And nobody really likes it. Here is Ann Coulter on the Tom Shalhoub Show talking about just that.
Listen,
They couldn't get Americans to vote for him, and they still can't. They bring in ringers. It's the ringers who are swinging our elections. We'll take a break and we'll be back, my friends. More Real Truth.
We had no time to do anything.
Now, save ourselves. Now we are left with nothing. No food, water, no shelter. Now I'm crying.
I should have been more prepared. Preparedness here. I would do 925 record. Or visit preparednessgear.com. 303-981-9810. The Patriot Trading Group is a different kind of gold and silver company, cleaning up the industry for 21 years. Are you tired of the high-pressure sales tactics, the constant phone calls? Are you done with the bait and switch? You just want to be treated fairly with honesty and respect? That's exactly what you get when you call 800-951-0592. You have my word on it. I'm Joe Jaquin, CEO of the Patriot Trading Group. Check us out online at allamericangold.com.
Howdy, folks. Have you ever thought about having your own backyard chickens? Now you have a source for certified organic, no GMO, no soy chicken feed. HappyHens.biz can even deliver, or you can pick up. Call me, Tim, at 303-829-5948, or go to happyhens.biz for pricing and ingredients. At happyhens.biz, we love Happy Hens. or call us at 303-829-5948.
The American Freedom Network is not funded or supported by special interest groups or government programs. The American Freedom Network is not sponsored by advertisers demanding content or programming control. The American Freedom Network is solely funded by you, the listener. Please help keep the American Freedom Network on the air by purchasing one of our sponsors' fine products or by calling 1-800-205-6245 to make a donation. The American Freedom Network needs your help.
All right, guys, welcome back to Real Truth. Howard Riell still behind the microphone. You know, $1.3 trillion is more than I make in a month. It's a considerable amount of money. Here's Rush Limbaugh weighing in on what he thinks of this budget deal.
I do not know how the president can sign this budget. Wait till you hear, and you may have heard some of it, wait till you hear what's in this budget. When you hear what's in this budget, it will become crystal clear what the purpose of this budget is. Think of this budget as a branch office of the Mueller investigation trying to throw Trump out of office. Well, I'm telling you, it's a deep state. I don't care where you go. It's the establishment trying to get rid of Donald Trump any which way they can. And there is no question. Wait till you hear it. You know what? I'm going to stop characterizing it. And I'm just going to give you some stuff. And you will understand why I, practically alone yesterday, was suggesting that this thing be vetoed. And you remember why I said it should be vetoed even before I had gotten time to get into the nuts and bolts of it. It was utterly obvious to me that this budget is designed to separate Trump voters from Trump. This budget is designed to make Trump voters think Trump's presidency is irrelevant. This budget is designed to make Trump voters conclude, you know what, there isn't going to be a wall, and there isn't going to be anything serious in immigration. And so having Trump as president has meaning. That's what this budget is designed to make you think. But after it's signed into law, it's 2,200 pages. There is no way anybody could have read all of it and digested it in the limited time they had before the vote. So the president is threatening to veto the budget deal over the lack of funding for the wall and the fact that the Democrats don't care about the DACA thing. They're a baby and they don't care about it. Mr. President, that's chump change compared to the other reasons why you should veto this thing. Now, the drive-by is a number of people. You can veto it. You can veto it. Many members have already passed out and are traveling internationally, and you make money about 2 weeks distance vacation. And that's right. This budget is a slap in the face. This budget is the Washington establishment both parties telling Donald Trump to go to hell is what this budget is. And they're doing it with smiles on their faces. And there was an appearance on Fox Business Channel.
All right, my friends, let's jump to another Rush riff on this budget. Let's listen to something else he had to say in another day.
Greetings, welcome back. It's Rush Limbaugh, Open Line Friday. We have 1 hour left to go. Let me pose a couple questions to think about. We're going to poll vote people want to weigh in. Was this Trump or Trump? Was this the Trump that came down the escalator on June the 15th and has been met every day? Was this the same one? Did Donald Trump, I'm watching some media people in immigration. Media people try to praise Trump because he did what they liked. They're saying, oh, he told the American people I liked him. He told them about how the budget process. And he really, he did pretty good today. And he was giving people a history lesson on how Congress works and how things work.
All right, guys, we'll take a break. We'll come back and we'll wrap it up here on Monday on Real Truth.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Tom Phillips, founder of the Green Earth.
Well, it had to happen. When Colorado legalized marijuana, most people thought the Green Herb was a marijuana dispensary. Also, it was legalized on January the 1st, 2014. The same day we opened our new location at 4565 Kipling Street, 1.5 blocks south of I-7. There are 83,000 cars a day passing in front of our new location on Kipling Street, and most of them thought we were a marijuana dispensary. So we changed the name of our retail store to New Genesis Health, but we kept the name of our Green Herb Supplements. So when you come to our new location, look for our new name, New Genesis Health, or call us at 888-765-HERB. That's 888-765-4372. And be sure to listen to the Healthy Nature Show with Linda Phillips every Tuesday at 1 p.m.
TLR Associates of Boulder wants you to remember your life began at conception, and so does the life of every yet-to-be-born person. Baby and mother both lose when 1 in 3 women go against their instincts and choose abortion. Former abortion doctor Nathanson says people do not understand that there are thousands of serious physical complications from abortion every year in this country. Post-abortion crises include severe guilt, depression, stress, anxiety disorder, sleep disturbance, suicide, violent behavior, sterility, increased risk of miscarriage and delivery complications and premature birth. International Journal of Epidemiology reported abortion increases breast cancer risk by 90%. Every helpless baby has the right to life, too. This life-giving message is brought to you by TLR Associates of Boulder, providing a job well done for your home or business with design, stucco, stone, and brick. Call TLR Associates of Boulder, 303-921-3310. TLR Medallion branded stucco protection serves the Boulder and northern Colorado area.
Item from Click Orlando. Attorneys for Noor Salman are calling for a mistrial after they say new details from prosecutors reveal that Pulse gunman Omar Mateen's father was an FBI source and is currently under a criminal investigation. According to a motion filed by the defense, prosecutors sent an email on Saturday that stated Sadiq Mateen was a confidential FBI source from 2005 through June 2016, unquote. So the Muslim maniac who shot up the Pulse nightclub, his father has been working with the FBI. What the hell does that mean? Item from Fox 5 New York. Police in Louisiana say a possible illegal immigrant with a machete tried to snatch 2 children from their mothers inside a Walmart. Kenner police say it happened on Friday afternoon. They say around 2 p.m., Billy Yo Boutier Herrera entered the Walmart store with a backpack and approached the mother and her 2-year-old child, who was seated inside a grocery cart. Police say he told the mother if she didn't listen to his instructions, she would die. The victim mother attempted to walk away from Boutier Herrera when he blocked the victim, placing his hand on the handle of a machete, causing the mother to fear for herself and her child's safety. Police say he then threatened to kill the boy if she did not listen. The mother asked for help from store employees as Boutier Herrera grabbed the 2-year-old and attempted to remove the child from a grocery cart and take off. Unquote. My friends, can we please bring more and more and more of these people from the third world in the South and Central America? Please, because there's strength in diversity, right? Item from Reuters. Dateline. Kuala Lumpur, Malaysian Prime Minister Najib Razak's government tabled a bill in Parliament on Monday outlawing fake news with healthy fines of up to 10 years in jail, raising more concern about media freedom in the wake of a multi-billion-dollar graft scandal. Unquote. My friends, in Malaysia, yes, you have to worry about freedom of the press in the wake of a multi-billion-dollar graft scandal. Here, fake news is itself a horrible crime, and yes, people who are doing it intentionally should get hit with amazingly big fines, if not jailed. Item from Breitbart. Governor Andrew Cuomo, Democrat in New York, told a predominantly black congregation on Sunday that Baptists, Catholics, and Jews all worship God, but unlike them, quote, without the rhythm, according to the New York Post. So you see, my friends, if you are a Democrat in New York, if you're a liberal, and we know that liberals are really the real racists, if you're a liberal, you can go ahead and say racist things, insult people. It's okay, you're a liberal. Item from Breitbart Dateline, Reynosa, Tamaulipas, cartel near Mexico. Cartel gunmen dumped 2 large bags filled with dismembered body parts outside a local gas station. The gory scene follows several days of relative peace after months of fierce gun battles and escalating violence between rival factions of the Gulf Cartel. Unquote. My friends, could we please bring more and more and more and more of these third world animals to America, because then everything will be better. Item from Breitbart, following state regulations to counteract traditional gender roles, a number of Swedish preschools have begun experimenting in innovative ways to blur the differences between boys and girls. My friends, I never knew what was wrong with the world, why life was getting worse, and now I realize it's because we've only had 2 genders. Don't worry about it. We're taking care of that problem. I'll be back tomorrow with more real truth. Hasta luego.